I'm just so proud of Ty, and I want to just brag on him a little
Yeah.
bit. From that end, if yeah, from that end, I'd just say that when in his recruiting process, there was a very, I mean, serious moment where we didn't think he was going to be a Hog,
Hmm.
and he was unsettled with his decision, and some things changed very, very late. And when he decided that he wanted to be a Hog, I kind of gave him some advice, perhaps on the fear of failure, and he just didn't skip a beat. He said, "I'm going to be a Hog because I want to know how good I can be. I want to play in the SEC." He's always really wanted to put himself up against the very best.
Hmm.
We're always looking at it with, well, there's the opportunity to succeed, and I was sitting here thinking, well, what if he never played for him, and it's just so he went with his heart, and he chose against going towards the opportunity to succeed versus the fear of failure. And because he took his route, his worldview on the opportunity, he'd have taken old Dad's advice. He would have never experienced the last 4 years that would include starting as a true freshman in his first game, and a 4-year starter, and certainly it's not been the easiest road. This is I think everybody would agree that for all the players, the families of the players, and especially the fans, it's been a rough period for the Razorbacks, and it's not very easy, nor is it very fun to say that you've been part of a program that's been in its darkest moments in the history of the program.
Yeah.
And so he's been under three head coaches, four, I guess, if you include the interim coach, Coach Lunny. And so he's had to apply for his job every year.
Yeah.
And he's not always, he's come into every year with just being another player that the coaches really don't know. And so he's really taken hold of that. And I think those are life lessons that, even though it's not been necessarily or has met expectations from a win-loss perspective, I know he's pulled away some incredible life lessons about just showing up for work every day. And there's been times, after games where, he's been devastated. He's, in tears, and, he always goes to work on Monday thinking that, I'm ready to go. And we're, this next Saturday, we're going to be playing for the national championship with that type of mentality. So from that, I'm really proud of the way he's handled adversity. And certainly I know that as a result of that, he's gotten very close to his teammates, and they've bonded together, especially some folks out of this particular class that's graduating this year. There's a common bond among them that we get up every day and we're going to go to work and we're going to keep excellence as our goal. And that's something, those are life lessons, I guess, that a lot of kids necessarily don't get until they really get into the professional world with a true boss and, all the things around, failure. And so that's something we've been very proud of Ty and how he's held his head high throughout the adversity.
I remember, Jennifer, when we did our football mom story, that one of the things you reminisced on was when you guys got the call from Brett Bielema and you were sitting in bed about Ty going to start the very first game as a true freshman. And from that moment to Saturday, when you watch him play his final game at Razorback Stadium, just take me through maybe just like wrapping your head around the fact that it's already been 4 years.
Well, now that you've actually said it, it's sinking in now. I hadn't thought about it that way yet, but oh my gosh, it's just been amazing. It's been amazing to see how Ty has grown up from a 18-year-old on this first game out there into a 21-year-old now, and just the friendships he's made, the coaches that he's had, whether, good, bad, good criticism, he's taken it all in, he's learned from it, and he has just grown into this man that we are so very proud of.
What's it been like for you guys? One, you live down the street from Razorback Stadium, so you've been able to go to most, if not every home game. But then you guys also travel pretty well too to the away games. So what's it been like for you two to be able to kind of be on this journey with him, but be able to travel and watch SEC football in all these different places?
We've been very lucky and very blessed to be able to travel and live down the street from the stadium and be close to Ty, be able to have the other football players in our home before COVID, be able to take them to the lake and have a bonding time with them during the summer. It's been awesome to be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my favorite Saturday morning or afternoon is walking to the stadium and then being able to just walk to the stadium and watch your son play down the street. And that's been very special. I would just say, traveling, Jennifer's right. We've been incredibly blessed. It was such a heartwarming moment to see, Myron be the captain in the last game. I think that was, his first game where his parents were there and attending in person, watching their son play. It broke, and it almost broke our heart because we may take that for granted sometimes, but we've been to every game. I say been to every game. We missed it. We missed the South Carolina game his freshman year. It was a long ways, and he didn't know if he was going to play or not. Next thing you know, I'm watching TV, and he runs on the field, and I'm like, good night. I'm never going to let that happen again. So we go to every game, and it's just time is short, and you only get 12 opportunities a year, and take that over 4 years. There's just not that many opportunities, and it goes by so quick. So we do what we can to make the most of it.
I know that this might be hard to kind of pinpoint just one, but maybe your favorite memory or moment from Ty's career as a Razorback.
It's going to be his very first game in War Memorial Stadium. He had just played there in, I think it was December or November, at the Fayetteville High School State Championship in War Memorial. And then when he ran off the field after the game and he said, Mom, that was crazy. That was so crazy. I cannot believe that. And we have pictures of it. And it was that I will remember forever. That was the most special moment.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good moment. I would say I put that one up there. And again, just for the, going back to dad advice, sitting there thinking that he might not have ever had that opportunity if he'd have listened to me. So watching your son go out and run out as a Razorback in the helmet and then getting that start, and that was incredibly special. I think maybe the other is just watching. I think it was last year, Melissa, against Colorado State. He had a really nice game. He was, I guess, recognized as the top center in all of college football according to PFF, and he made the PFF team that particular week. And just saying, Ty, of course you can go against the best, and you're performing well whenever you do. So that was a neat moment as well. And of course, watching him graduate Tuesday night, man, I can sit here and go through all the top 10. There's a lot of moments, but there's
he made it.
He made it. He did it. He did it.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you this. I know you're saying the last game, and Melissa, you're absolutely right. It could be the last game. I do know the coaches have asked for him to come back. I know he's going to just kind of get through the end of the season and kind of just evaluate his options, so to speak. And I know that he is thinking about coming back. I just know that he's not ready to make that decision. He wants the season to be over and kind of clear his mind of all of the things that are going on during the season. And we'll see what happens. But, NCAA did them a nice solid this year and said that this year won't count against their eligibility to give them that chance to come back. And, certainly as mom and dad go, I think we're for it. We want him to come back, but we're going to let him make that decision and whatever he feels is best for himself on that.
Yeah, on that front, it is kind of a weird senior day because Sam said today, obviously anyone who is a senior right now will walk. And I don't care if they have 2 senior days, they can walk next year if they want to. So it's very, again, just kind of goes with the theme of 2020 and just being really unprecedented about what's going to happen. But if this is Ty's final game at Razorback Stadium, how are you guys going to feel? Where do you think your emotions are going to be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, just it's gonna, the game's gonna be short. Just knowing that it could be his last game. It's one of those things you wish the game would last all day, and then you realize that you're playing Bama. Four quarters might be enough, but.
We've got a bunch of family coming in and his cousin, and we've got tons of family coming in for the game. So, we'll just win or lose, we're going to be celebrating.
We're going to be celebrating Ty, and every minute's just going to fly by, I know. And, it'll be an emotional day for sure.